Taking a break from the D&D stuff to go back to the reason why this channel began, redrawing childhood characters. My redraws are always kind of done with a lot of space in between them, especially now that I've actually branded myself as a D&D channel in a way, and the algorithm will not push my content unless it's specifically D&D content, but I still always love taking a step back and going back to the drawings that started my love of world building and character creation. Today we have two lovely characters by the names of Rena and Tiffany, and I know it's kind of annoying because I called the file Rena and Tiff, and in the drawing Rena gets drawn first, followed by Tiffany, but it's still actually Tiffany that is going to be on the left and then Rena on the right, so they aren't under their respective names, and maybe that bothers you like it does to me. Or maybe you couldn't care less. Either way, we're all just going to have to live with that knowledge and this unfortunate situation that was created by my own lack of foresight. It is what it is. But now that we have that news out of the way, look at these fun red sketches going down. If we take a look at the basic structure for Rena in this drawing, and the Rena that was drawn, well, actually I'm not positive for this one how long it's been. I feel like I was older when I drew this, and by older I mean my age had at least 2 digits in it instead of just 1, but it's hard for me to be sure. In general, I'm just trying to keep the basic structure of this character intact. We're still keeping it with the pirate vibes, the blonde hair with the big swept over bang, a corset or structured bodice of some sort, and we also keep the braid going. I decided to add sort of a scarf to her head, give her pants instead of a dress like the original drawing, and also add boots, which she may or may not have been wearing in the original drawing, and only younger me would have known that. I do think I have a little bit of the same face syndrome when it comes to characters, so I really wanted to do my best and make sure she did not look like Kata from my last redraw video that also included a hot pirate lady. In fact, Rena has to look a little bit younger than Kata. As a half Asian little lady myself, the whole visually looking young thing does not process super well in my brain. A lot of my coworkers and my husband are all assumed to be around their age or older, and I often am pinned at the ripe old age of 18, which I mean, I guess I can't blame anyone because this is me and my husband when we were 18 and 19 respectively, and this one is somewhere between 5 and 6 years later. So, you know, change over the years hits us all really differently, I think, and what we can conclude from this experiment is that aging doesn't matter, and if I say Rena is 20 and Kata is in her 30s, that's very believable. Nonetheless, I did at least try to make a conscious effort to have Rena look visibly younger than Kata, if not in appearance, at least in demeanor. On the left, we are finally working in the structure of a character named Tiffany, and if you're wondering why Rena and Tiffany are connected to Kata, Rena is one of the waitstaff at the Rumour Hathet, an old lighthouse turned sailor's bar. The Rumour Hathet is the direct competition to a place called the Tea House, not necessarily in patronage, but mostly because the owner, Elaine, has personal beef with Kata, which you can hear all about in the Hot Pirate Lady redraw video. Tiffany works at the tea house, and consequently Tiffany and Rena are not supposed to get along with each other because boss beef extends to the waitstaff in this scenario, I guess. As you can see, I try to make Tiffany visually very different from Rena. Tiffany has more soft features, and she's wearing a dress with a highly structured, more traditionally conical stays, and also her hair is fully put up and out of the way. I'm also just now noticing that I have this really lovely choker necklace situation on Tiffany, and I'm sad to say that I completely forget to render it back in after painting her skin, so say goodbye to that necklace for the speed draw video at least, because I do go back and render it in post because I think that's too pretty of a detail to leave out. As far as flats go, I'm going to do my best to keep it as similar to the original color palettes as possible. Tiffany still has the more warm undertones, the brown hair, blue eyes, and the pink, white, and gold palette. I did go for more of an off-white, and I made the pink the central color to make her dress look less like a wedding dress, and also because I thought it would make the coloring process just visually more interesting. Rena also is still blonde with green eyes and wears the purple, blue, and brown color palette that she has in her original drawing that I'm pretty sure was very intentionally mirroring Kata's original outfit. I also added a few bronze details in her earrings, belt buckle, and little coin thing, which, not unlike Tiffany's choker, disappears during the speed draw and magically gets rendered in post. Speaking of details that disappear, on Rena's left hip we can see the hint of the rim of a cup that looks like maybe part of a metal stein, which, yes, is featured in Rena's original drawing. During this part of my character design and world building career, I felt it was very necessary to give each of the characters one one notable item or treasure. Kata's was a ring that was too big for any finger besides her thumb. Rena's is this silver stein that has been engraved, and Tiffany's, which is featured in neither her original drawing nor her current drawing, is a porcelain teacup. What is the significance of such items? I'm actually not sure. I can't recall if these were gifts from their respective bosses, maybe gifts from parents, or maybe just drinkware that is from their places of work. I didn't even make any notes on the designs for the teacup or what was in the engravings on the stein, and I'm pretty sure that the reason I didn't make any notes directly on the original drawing is because the teacup and stein were both clues to some sort of mystery I had set up, and these drawings in the map were both supposed to be available to people who were solving the mystery, aka my sister and my cousin. So I didn't want any clues to fall into the wrong hands, which apparently includes my own hands 15 take or give years later. All that being said, it's not like we can't come up with our own theories about these two characters, set up to be so opposed to each other and also so alike each other in many ways. What would be a good dynamic between these two women's? Women? Now hold the phone, Lady Splitchin. June is a certain month of special celebration. What exactly are you trying to pull here? Are you some corporate baiting schemer over here trying to use tags to attract a wider audience? I mean, while I am always trying to grow my little community so I can share my love of art and trying new things with everyone, in general, I dislike using hot topics to try and push my content because I'm just not trying to attract a sudden influx of followers that like a specific type of video. I'm genuinely just trying to find people who have similar passions and interests as me, and I enjoy having followers who like watching all the different types of content that I have. That being said, who am I to say what the future might hold for these two? I mean, younger me was not at all socialized in an environment where it was even considered a possibility, so can confirm that younger me would have said that they were just friends, if even friends. But it's not like I've never retroactively changed things before, so I'm just gonna leave this one a little mysteriously open-ended and let you all speculate and headcanon what you want. I decided to add a background because I didn't like the plain white background, so using a color very adjacent to the cream in Tiffany's stays and Rena's pirate shirt, I create a repeating background of steins and teacups as a nod towards their respective treasures, and then I move on to Rena. I spend a lot less time on Rena, which I gotta be honest, I do kind of regret just a little bit. I had a lot of trouble with her face because I wanted to give her this very specific nose shape, and then I ended up reducing the size of her eyes and thinning out her lips a lot, which all of these were very fine decisions to make. I think it all still looks pretty balanced out, but I do think the shortening of the neck and these changes in facial structures and also how low her eyebrows are contributed to a much more relaxed look than I was going for. I really wanted her to have a much more bright expression, but it does kind of create a nice contrast with the look that is Tiffany's wide eyes and rounder face. So maybe it's just me and the way that I always like the sketch a lot better than the render. Honestly, it's been quite a while since I've done a redraw. I've been doing a lot of physical projects lately and D&D content too, so it feels kind of difficult and very out of practice to make a digital drawing, and also drawing something that has comparatively very little backstory and prompting as drawing one of my D&D parties or my campaign book does. Although I have to say I really love this gradual move towards getting into a lot more physical projects, because that's proof of me pushing myself to do more and to get more done in less time. Not to get too in-depth into my personal matters, but I have struggled a lot with time management over the years, and my time blindness was at an all-time low, I think last year or maybe a little bit of the year before. I was late to everything. I had long stretches where executive dysfunction would just take me out. I wouldn't get anything done, hardly getting out of bed, because in early years of college, I would fill up every block of my time with a class, having to go to work, some sort of volunteering project, and I didn't know how to manage my schedule when I graduated and moved and no longer had had any kind of outside influence to structure my days for me. So watching myself start a YouTube channel and take on bigger projects, things like that, even having taken on a part-time job while doing all that has been incredibly encouraging to me, because that means I'm growing and learning to prioritize the goals that I have made for myself, and not just prioritizing goals that are necessitated and created by others. But despite all the cool projects, these subjects of these redraws were once to me what my campaign book is to me today. It was a massive multi-year undertaking of creating environments, filling it with characters, and creating little fetch quests for my sister and cousin to go on. And I definitely want to continue this redraw series, even though it's not one of my most popular series on the channel. It is such a major part of who I am today. And voila, Tiffany and Rena, two girls posing for this redraw, definitely not 5 feet apart, so who knows what's up with that. But in all seriousness, this was a really nice quick project that is actually a secret cover-up for a bigger project that I had planned to get done this week, but instead of being able to do that, I ended up crashing really hard and needed to extend that project to another week, which is so awesome after me talking about how good I am at time management, but like, you know, comparatively, we're working on it. That teaser being released, you'll just have to stick around to see that one come to fruition. So happy June, happy Pride Month, happy D&Ding, and happy summer. And also good luck to anyone else who is spending the next few months getting ready for Ren Fair season, which may or may not have anything to do with the aforementioned project that is taking longer than I originally thought, but who knows? Not me.